I'm going to do a review of this 2020 Dodge Ram 1500 Bighorn to help in case you're looking for information. There's a lot of information, a lot of reviews. I've watched a lot of reviews before buying this truck, and I figured maybe I could try to give some information or some things that I've noticed while having owned it to help out in case anybody had any questions or anything that you're not finding from any of the other reviews. This one is the Bighorn edition, built to serve, blacked out. It's got the LED lights, the blacked out LED lights, blacked out bumper with the sensors, the parking sensors, which I'll make a reference to later. Got all the blacked out badging. Not black rims, but it's kind of a aluminum gray color. Some plain running boards, crew cab, ram box, built to serve, the trifold tonneau cover. You got the blind spot monitoring, the multi-function tailgate, which I'll try to kind of get into that later too. You got the blacked out mufflers, not mufflers, the blacked out tailpipes. This one was picked up at One Stop Shop Auto Group of Savannah, Georgia. Can't recommend them enough. They did a wonderful job helping me out, helping me find the truck. They were very accommodating, easy to communicate with, even though I'm not from there. So getting there to get the vehicle wasn't very inconvenient at all. They made it very convenient. So let's try to get into some more of the things that I've found with this vehicle. It does have the powered folding mirrors, the 12-inch display, the panoramic sunroof, which I don't have open yet, but we'll get into all that. It has the Alpine speaker system in this one, as it is the Bighorn. Plenty of backspace. I haven't spent a whole lot of time here in the back, but it does have a lot of space. You got plenty of space whenever you lift up the seats. Let that down to make it give it a little bit more space. One thing with the built to serve, you get this little neat little Molly addition to the backrest, which I thought was a neat little detail. There's a lot of neat little details about Dodge that a lot of people have commented on in their videos. So I won't spend too much time. If I think of it while I'm talking about it, I'll try to, point it out. Also with the built to serve, you have the Velcro spots here on the side of the door, side of the seats, and also on the back. Built to serve is neatly written in there. One thing I can say about the seats, with these here, it could be because they're new, so I don't want to talk too much about, or try to put it down too much. It could be just a matter of being new, but I've noticed over a couple of hours sitting in these, driving over a long trip, they get it kind of makes you kind of uncomfortable trying to adjust and get comfortable. So, keep that in mind with the Laramies and the other ones that have the leather seats that may not be that way. Another thing that's really good about these is the plastic floor mats. They're, very, very nice for keeping the truck clean, not getting dirt in there. Same for the back. And they just have little buttons you button in and snap on. snap them into place. Also in the back, you have, of course, you have your 2 USBs and 2 USB Type-Cs, plus your power outlet there, 2 cup holders. You have everything to make it pretty comfortable, even in the lower trim level of being a Bighorn. One of the, talking about the front parking sensors, one of the things that I noticed, I've heard other people talk about it in their videos. They have a tendency to every once in a while try to stop on you when it shouldn't. So like, here's your controllers. You have your front parking sensors, your rear parking sensors, your tow haul, traction control. This is where you would have, if you had the air ride suspension, which unfortunately this one doesn't have, and you have your dial here. Let me get back on topic. Talking about the parking sensors. The one thing I've noticed is, the reason why I have the front parking sensor turned off is, I've noticed, like, if you're backing up and your front parking sensor catches something, it tends to it'll cause it to slam on brakes on you. Even if you're going slow, it can be, catch you off guard, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit. So I tend to turn that one off. I did still have it happen with the front parking sensor turned off, but it was kind of like an uneven driveway, so I was trying to go up a little. My front tires were trying to climb up a little lump, which it shouldn't have a problem, but because I was trying to back into my garage, for some reason it freaked out and slammed on brakes. So it's kind of aggravating when it happens. So if that does happen, then I'll turn it off for a little while and turn it back on. I use I back into my garage because of the backup camera. This truck being a little bit longer than what I'm used to, it's easier to see at the back, how far I can back up to make sure I have room for the whole truck in the garage. So unfortunately, this one being the Bighorn, it didn't have the front facing camera. Maybe some of them do. This one I didn't. This one doesn't have it, which I'm not that big. It doesn't bother me that bad. Another thing that this one does not have is the what would be the parking assist, where it helps park. Can't remember what this function is here in the other ones, but it doesn't have it either. Also, it doesn't have the lane departure assist, or the I think it's called intelligent cruise control. This one doesn't have that either. It does have the auto dimming mirrors. Also, this one is regular 2-wheel drive, not 4-wheel drive, but this would be where you would have your 4-wheel drive controls here. One thing I have noticed that I've also, being new to the truck, and again, I guess it would be a thing to kind of get used to moving forward as I drive the truck more often, is with having the volume control here and then the shift control of this rotary dial here. A couple of times I've caught myself reaching up here to change the gear instead of reaching here. I guess more times than not that I'm adjusting the volume with this knob, so I'm using this knob more than I am this one, so it's just kind of a little bit, I guess it's just a little bit of getting used to. Another thing I found with these vehicles, my last brand new vehicle was in 2011, so there's things that I kind of, you kind of have to get used to having a new truck. I don't know what vehicles have these features or not, but as far as this goes, with the blinkers. One of the things I thought was I found it to be kind of cool, but also aggravating at the same time, because I'm the type of person I kind of just flick it up and down with my finger. And that's one of the things I was finna show you. So if you just barely bump it up, it blinks a couple times and goes off until you bump it all the way up. So the same way you can push it down. So first starting out using this vehicle and trying to get used to it, I caught myself like doing it, like kind of going up and down trying to get it to go off, and I couldn't get it to go off. I didn't realize it would automatically go off. So that was me being me. So keep that in mind. You do have your voice controls for your phone. You have your controls to control your screen in the side, to set it up how you want to set it. I know when I bought it, the direction was over here, so my first thing was, since I used the navigation on the screen more than anything, I got rid of that and put the time there, because I was always trying to find the time, because you have this big old screen and then a little bitty time stamp up here, whereas normally if you're using your phone, you have your big screen on your phone, but when you turn on your phone most of the time, at least in my case, I have a big, the time is kind of big and prominent, so it's easy to find. So I caught myself kind of trying to find it. So what I wanted to do was, I found out I could put it over here, so I just kind of put it over here and then shifted my direction over there. Another good thing I thought I found about this is when you set your navigation, because this is how I normally run it, with my speed in the middle, the direction at the top, and then the stuff on the side. The thing that I found that kind of cool is when you have your navigation, if you have a turn coming up, it'll show up inside your screen here, as it's talking to you on the big screen here. I may at some other time go out and do a video of me driving and kind of to display this feature. As far as the big screen goes, I haven't really played around customizing it much. One thing I have noticed, that with it being the blacked out edition and being black and being in the south and the heat, it gets hot. The panoramic sun roof doesn't help that very much. So if you want to try to get cold, or when you first get in it, after it's in the sun, it can be pretty hot. And even with the max AC turned on, it can take it a little while to get cooled off. Another thing, I don't know if how well it comes over through the video, the fans are pretty loud, so if you don't have music going, it can get kind of loud, but I'd rather be loud than hot, so that's just kind of me on that. As in most other ones, you have your 2 USB ports, and then 2 USB Type-C, where the CD player used to be the phone holder. But the one thing about this is, if you have a bigger phone, like a really new phone, like I'm running the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G, the top of the phone comes all the way up here, and my wife, who has an iPhone, and she has her case on it, it's kind of hard to fit in here. It's really, really snug, which is good that it holds your phone in place, but it's kind of hard to fit in there. So keep that in mind. So this one unfortunately doesn't have the wireless charging. I'm at 14 minutes. Okay, let's see if we can make it a little bit faster. You have your storage space in your console here. You have your coins. This one actually has a tough box built into it, which I thought was really cool, but it knocks out a good chunk of the storage space that you would have if you didn't have that in there. But it's a pretty cool little feature to have a tough box that you can lock. And if you have, like with me, or some other people, if they have guns or passports or any kind of important documents that they really want to take and keep safe, keep locked up. They can lock those up separately from the. And there's an M&M in there. Okay, cool. I'll have to fish that out later. You also have the storage in here, which you also have a USB port for charging that you can ride out through your little spot here, so you can close it and it doesn't pinch your cords. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's get outside and talk some more. Okay. You also have storage compartments here on both sides. There's a lot of storage in these vehicles. You also have under the floor mats the little storage buckets there with the tie downs, and the inside lining is removable, and you have a little ruler there and you can pull that out. One thing I did want to mention is with the I'm gonna show you over here because I got some junk in the other tough box. They kind of advertise and people kind of joke about using these for a cooler if you're on a trip or something like that, putting some ice and some drinks or something like that. So that's one of the first things I wanted to test out and see how well it worked. I don't know how much of it was being, because this is, black and being in the middle of the summer and hot. But I took and filled up this side right here with ice, threw some drinks in there, and took out on the road. After a couple hours, got to where I was going. The vast majority of it was, there was still some ice in there, but it was pretty much mostly water. The water was cold, but it was still a bunch of water. So by the end of the day, the water was hot, the drinks were hot. So it's not, it doesn't last very long. Maybe if you have a different color, it might work a little bit longer. You also have the option to take and buy slots that divide up, so you can divide up your RAM box, which are sold separately, unfortunately. That's another thing I've noticed is, like, you kind of, if you're not careful about it, sometimes they don't latch. But now that I've mentioned it, it's going to do it every time. But it just is what it is. But speaking of junk, like I said, just kind of an idea. You got a little emergency kit you can get, and I got a toe strap and some cloth. You also have your 3-prong outlet, which you can turn on from the cab. If you were going to do the ice cooler with drinks and stuff like that, I wouldn't put it back here, because even though this does seem to be well sealed and it does have a seal, some type of seal, and you have to turn it on from the front, I wouldn't suggest putting water back here if you just slosh around, if you could help it. But you also have, a little latch to let somebody out. So if you stick somebody in here, try to kidnap somebody with a box, shame on you, but they can get it out. Also, coming back here with the multi-function tailgate, you got your camera, you got your, if you lift it up, you got your soft open. This one is a little bit heavier than the normal tailgate because it's the multifunction. You have your little grocery don't slide to the back thing there, stop there, which is a really cool feature. You can, using the key that comes in the key fob, you can actually lock it in place so people can't open it and move it around. Another thing about this, the bed liner, I'm assuming this is from the factory like this. It is pretty aggressive and rough, which is good for not allowing things to slide. But if you use it to take off trash, be careful about how you slide the trash bag on it, because it could rip it open and you have a mess. But I guess if it's a truck, you shouldn't be complaining too much about it being dirty or getting dirty. Also, if you take and you pull down on the bottom part here, that's how you swing it open. Cool feature. I don't think I saw too many people talk about. It doesn't just swing open. It has, I think, 3 spots in it to stop, so it doesn't swing open and hit people's cars or anything that's, that's in the way. So it doesn't just freely open. So here we go. So you kind of have like stop points, and it really doesn't really slide back into you too much. It does a little bit, but you don't have to worry about it freely swinging back on you and knocking you in the back of the head or knocking you down one way or another. And it's and it stops out at an straight flush with the bed. You got LED lights that you can turn on, turn off. You have your other door handle, and this one is the same way. Kind of has little stop points, so it doesn't just swing open and hit something or somebody. Again, this is a three-fold or trifold tonneau cover. One thing I noticed, because I used this, I took this on a dirt road the last couple of days, and it just sucked dirt in the bed. You can still kind of see a little bit of dirt on it. I tried to wash it off before I did the video, so y'all didn't have to see a nasty truck. But yeah, going down a dirt road, this just sucks. It sucks the dust in and dirt in. So it's gonna happen. Another thing with these that I've noticed is if you don't, sometimes when you go to shut it, it'll kind of see it doesn't want to shut right. So you kind of have to give it a little oomph. And if you close it and you go to get in the truck and turn it on, you will get a notice that it's open. There's been times I've had to kind of shut it 2 or 3 times just to make sure that it was shut well enough to not open. So that's another thing that I kind of wanted to touch on. But yeah, it's been a really good truck. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I got it. It does have the 33-gallon tank, which doing the trip that I did this past weekend, it's about a 4-hour trip as far as driving. I did it in about, I think it was like just over a quarter tank of gas, and I'm getting anywhere between the 17 and 20, I think 22 miles per gallon, just depending on if you're in the city or if you're doing a long drive with very few stops. Also, something I haven't really even looked at very much is, let's look at the engine. Let's check it out. While I'm here, you also have your pedal adjustments. I'm kind of short, so I got them stuck all the way out. Yay, genetics. Your parking brake, pull on. I hope I can turn it off. Okay, hopefully it turns off. I don't know. We'll figure it out. If I can go to leave. There's your button to turn on your outlet in the back in the rough ram box. You also have your controls for your radio, and I'm reaching over here like I can't see. There it is. Each one, you got pretty much the same thing on the other side, and each one has 3 buttons. You have your ups, down, and then the button in the middle. This one here will like if you're listening to it'll change your station up and down. I haven't figured out what that one is yet, so forgive me. Some of y'all probably know. On the other side, you have your ups and down, and the middle one, if I'm not mistaken, changes your source. So if you're using XM, it'll shift to your Bluetooth and so on and so forth. So going back to the motor, let me see if I can grab the right thing this time. Yes, there we go. Also, you have your manual steering wheel adjustment, in, out, up, down, all that good stuff like that there. This side you have foam little insert for cups, for drinks. You can take it out and put it in there. The other side doesn't have one, but you can get them, I'm pretty sure. But this one didn't have it, so can't miss what you ain't got, I guess. That's a lie. Anyway, there we go. Opened it pretty easy, one-handed. Cool. So yes, this is the 5.7 V8 Hemi. Does not have the e-torque. You have your battery and some other stuff. I don't know what everything is. So you have your air filter. I still haven't even got to my first oil change yet, so yay. It's new and it's pretty. It's hot. Also, you got your LED fog lights, and they do shift out whenever you go to turn. The light shifts out so you can kind of see what you're turning. Again, I may do another video on a drive and kind of show some of these things, or at least if nothing else, come back out after dark and kind of go over some things that, you know, I try to touch spots that some people didn't or may not have done, or I haven't found. So please, I hope you find it helpful, informative, and if this goes well, I may do some reviews on some other stuff that I have. I've kind of been wanting to do it for a while, and it's just been kind of nerve-wracking trying to think about talking to a bunch of people that I don't know. Plus, I probably don't have the best sounding voice in the world. So, God bless. Y'all be safe.